So the saga continues of Salida and trying to prove the history is a lie. But unfortunately, I have to put these videos out first to show you guys the impossible and to show you guys the tree of knowledge, and God's about ready to shove it up their asses. So the bands have been broke, and yeah, I'm here to show you guys the truth, and you guys can believe what you want. You can believe in your spiritual higher power. That's all I'm here to do is tell you mine has sent me, and I plan on doing what he's asked of me before I'm done. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is I'm going to show you guys Salida in history and show you that this whole thing that they've told us about America, I believe some of it is true, but I believe a lot of this was done on purposely towards the end to destroy families and kind of what we're going through now. And the more and more you become awake, and that's just it, the tree of knowledge, you become more and more awake as you see the lies that Satan has created in this system. Okay, the one thing I wanted to point out here was more than 40 languages were spoken at the mill alone. I want you to think about that. 40 different languages. And then they had over 24 newspapers, different languages. So I want you to put yourself in this position. If you had to go to Russia today, how far do you think you'd make it? And then that's what I'm trying to tell you. All of these migrants were poor people that came from all over the world. And yet they somehow magically within 30 years built one of the most beautiful states that we have. As far as in the architecture history and what we really had here was very unique. And I'm not saying that other places aren't, but this one is really unique for anyone that's a gearhead because this is where metal is born. Okay, so now that I've kind of got into that and I've given you guys a backstory. So Salida, and I'm showing you guys where I found, the information where I'm getting it from. These Sunborn maps, very important on this whole deal. Salida history, and all of this will be in the description. And another picture. Possibly this is Salida of 1910. So I want you to think about that for a minute. That this is 1930 here of Salida in 1830. So let's do some math here. So everyone could see it. Especially since I don't want to have to redo a video because I misspoken when, I thought adding 2 plus 2 equaled 4. So, we got 2 pictures here, and we're going to cover a span of 1883 minus 1910. So that's 27 years. 27 years, and I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to show you. And one of the things I'm going to show you is the tree of knowledge, because God is definitely a God of. he wants his world back, and he's gonna he'll use whatever means is necessary. And if I'm one of them, then so be it. So anyway, I want you guys to know that I highlighted certain things of this. I copied and pasted from all different news articles. All of it is loaded in my drive. You can go in here. I have everything. If you go into Colorado State, you can go through all the stuff that I've already covered, all the cities and stuff. And then if you go back into one more shared with me, and this is the United States. This is the first one that I worked on. I want to give you guys where I got my information, all of it. Like you could go in here. All of these, you could click into them. This color scheme really doesn't have any real meaning to it. I was trying to organize it to like, okay, yellow was going to be, a lapse of time, or, this photograph has something, and then a red photograph would have been something like, oh, here you go, there's the bloody hand. So if you go through it and look, just kind of remember that I really had no way of making a thing, and I'll go through this until I figure out something. But that's the problem, is I'm trying to collect a lot of information, and I'm trying to tell you from Adam to Armageddon how I can prove this. But before I can do that, I want you guys to do some history reading and stuff, more than, let's see, where are we at here? To give you guys an idea of what they've told us in history and what's been written down, and I'm going to show you the conflicts and interest. All right, so Edison, basically in 1879, they couldn't get a light bulb to work. The filament standard for Edison bulbs for the next 10 years was after they found a bamboo, I believe it was a filament that they used. Well, anyway, I want you to go on and get the idea of this. So basically, you know, in 1879, so 1889, they jacked around with this for the next 10 years, trying to get a light bulb that worked, okay? So basically in 1890 is when we're really going to have, you know, production of light bulbs and stuff and electricity. That's part of this history they've told us. Plumbing is another one. Telephones. When did we get indoor plumbing? When did they stop using outhouses? When did we start running city water systems? Before we even started taxing cities, how did we get the money to come up with all of this? And this is all going to be covered because you have to think about what I'm explaining to you, and you have to think about a period of time. So let's go back to the calculator and look and see. Oh, where are you at? So we'll go with 1883, and they basically got the railroad in 1880 minus 1910. To be fair, that's 30 years. That's 30 years of development from nothing to what you've seen in that picture. Now, if I was looking at those two pictures again, I could believe it. Let's go back and look at them. I could see where, yeah, this started off real small and then it ended up like this. But what I'm going to show you is the lies in history, because I'm going to show you where time passes longer than what's being told to us. And I'm also going to explain to you, too, how the lies are with the destruction of certain stuff. I'm going to show all the contradiction in this. So, like I said, the saga continues. I'll keep making these videos in somewhat of a sequence, but like I've said, I'm trying to cover A to A, and it's really hard because I didn't know how to present this to somebody. When I seen it, I knew exactly what had happened. And I challenge anybody to challenge me, to be honest with you. I've looked through this time and time again, and I made sure what I found and I figured out, and you're going to see it. And it has to do with the tree. You have to think about it. So if you go back into my drive, and this is where I'll leave this video at, so that everyone, is it Colorado State? Oh, United States. Anyway, if you go back into shared with me, Colorado State, all of it that I've tried to lay out where I got the links, history, all of it. Like you go into PDF files and that's where it's all at. I covered the Chicago World Fair too and how it's tied into Colorado. Okay, trees reach different maturity from 10 to 40 years. Okay, most trees in Colorado are going to be about an average for a full-grown tree is about 40 years on up. So that's where I'm going to show you where this where the matrix gets broken. And I hope that you're with me. I hope that you share this. I hope that you explain it to other people and know how important this is, because this is so important. Because everything, if you've been told, I'm proven right now, is a lie by people, government, that we are supposed to trust. If I can show you that they've lied to us about that and prove it, then please, brothers and sisters, follow me, and not necessarily as a leader, but just follow and get this word out. Like, make your own videos. Use the information I have. You can make a better video of Colorado, please, by all means. I'm just here to share it, to show people, like I figured it out with Colorado, and it is definitely center stage now.